Dreaming about teaming up with a superhero? Heartbroken about the latest comic death? Do you find your conversations always turning to Marvel? Then welcome Marvelites to your therapy session. Join your hosts as we explore the realms of the Marvel Universe, taking you into new insights, movie reviews, and debates. Here, we won't try to cure any obsessions, but fuel them, because the world is better nerdy. Welcome to your Marvel Therapy Group.
Hi. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Marvel Therapy Group. I'm Joe, and with us is fan favorite Conor, back again.
Hello.
I think he's earned the honorary title of fourth host.
Fourth host, yes. I think I held the record for being on here the most.
Yeah, our biggest guest star. Jack is on an escapade with Jessica Jones, and Haley is perpetually on the astral plane, so just us today. But we're going to do a January roundup and go through all the news from January. First up, we have news about the Disney Plus shows. That's things like Scarlet Witch and Vision and the Loki TV show. So these Disney Plus shows are going to have double the budget of Daredevil, but half as many episodes. So that's a huge amount of money being thrown at, like, 6 episodes for a miniseries. So
Gee,
we can,
really? Holy man.
yeah, I think it's only going to be 6.
Oh.
So we can expect a lot of special effects. Maybe, I mean, who knows? Maybe all the money is going to go towards these actors' salaries. But I think it's going to be really cool. The Loki TV show, last I heard, might be taking place when Loki was a kid, so some of his younger years. But Tom Hiddleston will still be in it. What do you think about that, Conor?
I like Tom Hiddleston. I mean, I'll be interested in that show more than I would be interested in the Scarlet Witch series. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it should be good. I like Tom Hiddleston, but if it's going to be focused on his younger Loki, it'll definitely be interesting, give more background too for some of us who don't read the comic books religiously.
Yeah, I'm wondering what they could do exactly in his younger years. Is it going to be trying to make the audience like sympathize with Loki more? Maybe get him away from being a villain? I don't know.
But wouldn't that be his pre-villainness?
Right.
So,
I mean, he's the god of mischief, so he's always kind of had an evil streak.
Oh, so he's probably a pain as a kid.
Yeah. It's like that story that Thor told in Ragnarok, where as kids he was like, Thor picked up a snake and it was Loki, and he was like, ah!
Yeah.
Stabbed him. But you're not looking forward to the Scarlet Witch and Vision one?
Vision, maybe. I just don't. Scarlet Witch just does not thrill me.
Yeah.
She's like my least probably favorite character.
Even though it's Elizabeth Olsen.
I mean, she's attractive, but I just don't like her character. Uh-huh. It's not. I don't know. And it's nothing personal against her, but it's like I don't know. I just can't get. I can't. Maybe if I watch the show, maybe I'll get into the character a little bit more. But right now, I'm just not in. I'm not really.
I wonder if the character wasn't really explained as fully as she could have been maybe in the movies. She was just kind of experimented on with the.
Well, I thought her brother was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then he died.
And then he died, and I think it was Quicksilver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought his power was pretty cool. I just think this. What is she, telekinetic? All that.
Yeah, in the movie she seems to only be telekinetic.
It's just I don't know. I just think the Loki series would be actually far more interesting for me, anyways.
Yeah.
Than it would be any of the others. Vision would be cool too.
It would be cool to explore more of Vision, but if it's a Scarlet Witch and Vision show, it has to take place recently. Because Vision's only been around for the last few years.
Well, that's what I was going to say. How can you make a TV show on Vision only because he's a relatively newer character?
Oh, no, it's going to be both of them. Scarlet Witch and Vision TV show.
Oh, a joint TV. Oh,
yeah.
I thought they were two separate ones. My bad.
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be both of them. So it could be pre-Infinity War when they're running around together as fugitives.
It would be interesting to see how they kind of ended up in, where were they? Ireland?
I don't
London. It was
London.
Either Ireland, Scotland, or I think it might have been Scotland or something like that. But it'd be interesting to see how they got there and the time difference between those two movies.
I wonder if it'd be like a romantic action comedy, if that's even a thing. Because then we can see how the relationship developed.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It was kind of weird in Infinity War when we suddenly saw Vision had the ability to like change his appearance, I guess.
Yeah,
and then
that threw me off.
He was a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Which begs the question, why is he always running around as a red man and not just himself?
Right.
Or just as a human. I get maybe because it's not who he really is.
Yeah.
But it's it'll be interesting. I mean,
I think with that huge budget, it'd be really cool to see his power set. Because he has like lasers, he can manipulate his density.
Yeah, but the problem is I have with spin-off shows is like it has to work right away. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like there's so much on the line with spin-off shows because a lot of them don't work. And there's a reason why they don't work.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, I mean, the problem too is it is Disney. And
so they're going to water it down.
Yeah, and I think that once, you know, it's nothing against Disney. Like, I like Disney. Like, I would work for Disney, but it's like, Disney is mainly for kids. That's what the company is, you know?
Yeah.
And even before Marvel. And it's, I don't know, like, how you can successfully do it, without drying it out a little bit.
Yeah, or compromising their brand.
Well, yeah, because I mean, everyone knows that there is death in Marvel. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's not like copious amounts of blood. It's not like Scarface where there's copious amounts of blood and swearing like that. But I feel like you're only I feel like I said you're limited.
Yeah.
And especially with Disney, anything with Disney.
Although, did you hear that the new Black Widow movie might be rated R?
That's
a huge might.
Disney.
That's the latest rumor. Yeah.
Really?
Black Widow might be rated R. Marvel's first.
I mean, I feel like she would be the one character that would you could approve of a rated R movie for a Marvel movie at least. That's not Deadpool.
That's not Deadpool. I could definitely get behind it. I think if they do a Black Widow movie, it might be like her time in the Red Room, being brainwashed into the Soviet spy that she.
That would be interesting though. That would be interesting. That's what I was saying about the whole Vision and the Scarlet Witch would be very limited because he's a relatively newer character. Mm-hmm. I don't know in the comic books. Like I said, I don't read them religiously, but like I think it would be. I don't know. For me, it's either going to be really good or it's gonna bomb on take off. The only reason why I think Loki's one will be successful is because it had Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah,
and everyone likes that character.
For some reason, everyone likes Loki.
Yeah. Even though you're really not supposed to like Loki, but I think, you know.
I think now you are. I think Marvel realized, like, oh, we have a fan favorite here. Let's keep it going.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, his death was pretty sad. I say death with quotes.
Right.
Yeah, because, you know, it's Loki dies.
Death?
Yeah.
Or, like, which death are we talking about? He's
died, well, yeah, pretty much. But the Infinity War one, I think, was the one I felt bad because I think even though, like, Thor and Loki butt heads a lot in that movie, I think his death was... pretty interesting. And then it was in, I don't know, I think it might have been the first Thor movie or the second one.
I think he died in both of them.
No, not dying about, like I'm trying to go back to the character.
Yeah.
Like when we found out that he really wasn't he wasn't really like blood related to Thor.
He was the first one.
Was it the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of piqued my interest in saying, where did this character come from? Why is he mischievous and all that?
Oh yeah, they could get into Frost Giant like genealogy with
That's what I was thinking. That's what they were going to go for because if you're going to go back to a younger Loki, you might as well just go to the beginning and not just start when he's like 12 years old. Like I mean, you should go back to where they find him.
That'd be really like a documentary, from his early life.
I feel like you can make it. You can make it into like a docu-series. It's kind of like The Office. I think that would be funny.
And then throw Deadpool in there to break the fourth wall.
Yeah. Like I mean, you could easily like make it entertaining while also being informative at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I think you could do it with the Marvel cast. Like if you could do like a TV show, I'm like when I say The Office, like I mean like the setup. Right. People who are following them with cameras, and then they do that cut in between where they're just talking to the camera, kind of thing. That'd be funny to do because I feel like Loki and Deadpool would just be so sarcastic the entire time, or like Loki would do something to manipulate the camera, and you know I think you could. His series would definitely be a lot more exciting then.
Then you could use that to transition an audience to feel more comfortable with R ratings. Because Deadpool would do some sketchy things that you'd have to like blur out or bleep out. But
yeah, I mean, it's hard, especially because like anything you do that's not Deadpool related. Because since everyone knows who Deadpool is, and I feel like it's just hard to do because the movies so far have been Was it PG-13, right? That's the highest?
The Deadpool ones?
No. I mean, the Marvel movies in general.
Oh, yeah, PG-13.
Yeah, and I think since those have always been PG-13, I think it would be hard for them just all of a sudden just quickly jump to a rated R movie. I think like if you do like the Black Widow or you do this TV show and kind of make it like stepping stones to do it, then you'd be more successful.
Yeah, my concern with Black Widow being rated R, though, is that she has been portrayed as a PG-13 character. And she does have her dark moments. Like, obviously she's an assassin and skilled spy.
Yeah, but like, most of the movies, the reason why they're rated R is for... It's basically everything that's in a PG-13 movie minus the language. There's always blood. There's always drugs. There's always... You know, and it's just like...
Yeah, but I'm thinking maybe they could do a psychological thriller and just really mess with the audience's mind because she's being brainwashed.
Or you could do what Deadpool did, just re-release it in a PG-13 format. Yeah. You can do it. I mean, Marvel and I guess Disney have the budget to do it.
Oh yeah,
and that's double the money you'll get because the adults will be like, well, I kind of want to hear what this is like rated R, and you take your kids to the 13 one, and there you go. It's a gold mine.
Yeah. Although the Once Upon a Deadpool, the PG-13 one, didn't do too well in theaters.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know how well they expected it to do.
I didn't expect it, because there was a gap between the movies.
Yeah.
When the movie came out in theaters, and then that movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because that movie came out in what? May?
Something
came out in the summertime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But another piece of interesting information is that this past month, there was a DC comic with this Flash character came back, and it was just kind of this one-off line, but he was like, oh yeah, I was with Alpha Flight in Canada. So it was kind of a fun Easter egg that shows that somewhere within the Speed Force with these Flash characters, the Marvel Universe exists, which it makes sense because Marvel and DC have done crossover events in the past, like in the 80s or 70s, but that was pretty funny.
Yeah. This is news to me, so I'm just...
Black Panther. There's lots of news for the movies that came out this past year. Black Panther won a bunch of awards. They won Best Costume Design and Best Visual Effects, and I think like 5 others. I'm the least knowledgeable person about these awards. I don't even know what they're called. Are these the Oscars? Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes.
Yeah. Well, Black Panther won a bunch of stuff. So good for Black Panther.
Yeah, but then they killed him off, so it's like... Was it really worth it?
Well, we'll see what
happens.
I
should say quotes when I say killed.
Right, yeah. We'll see what happens in Endgame.
Yeah.
I think... Oh, there were toys, like action figures released for Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a Spider-Man and a Black Panther one released, but on the packaging it says, inspired by Infinity War. Mm-hmm. So that... Like, we don't know if that means that they're not going to be in Endgame at all. Like, we don't really know what that means.
No, I think it's just Marvel just trying to mess with us.
Yeah.
Throw us off the scent.
They do that a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think Black Panther definitely deserves a costume one. Because they created a whole world and culture with the costumes.
Oh, yeah.
The Afrofuturistic.
Yeah, there was definitely, like, heavy African influences on the costume and Wakanda and just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Do they tell you, like, on the map where that is?
I'm sure the location must be available.
I wasn't sure they established that or not. Because I know in the movies they didn't. They're just like, this is Wakanda, we'll just fly here. Yeah. It looked like it had an Africa kind of vibe to it.
Oh,
so
it's
I'm guessing
Africa, yeah.
That's why I'm guessing where it is. But I just think, personally, like, I think that besides the Spider-Man series, Black Panther is probably definitely up there with my top favorite. And it's funny too because I used to be very against I didn't like Ant-Man. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't like Ant-Man. It just didn't throw me in the beginning. So I watched the first one, really liked that one. That was funny. And then I saw the second one, Ant-Man and Wasp, and I really liked that one. It was just hard for me to see Paul Rudd in a Marvel movie. I'm sorry. I've seen him in so many other movies that I was like, really, this is not going to work for them. But he did a really good job, and with Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly and all that stuff.
What do you think about Brie Larson as Captain Marvel?
She was another one I was like, I don't know how you can make this fit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously the movie hasn't come out yet, so we don't know.
Right. I'm not making any snap judgments, but I still can't see it. like they released that a scene from the movie where she's on. It's like a train. She's on the top of a train chasing someone.
Oh, and she gets punched, right? And
she falls off the train, and we see her use her photon blasts. But even that scene, like, it got me less excited for the movie. And I don't like to say that because I'm still gonna see the movie. I'm so excited for it. But
it takes place in the 90s, right?
It does take place in the 90s, yeah. And, but that scene didn't thrill me. I just thought it looked bad.
I was almost gonna say Nicolas Cage, but Nick Fury. Has both eyes.
Yeah, the redeeming quality from that scene was that we saw Coulson and Nick Fury, 90s, de-aged.
Yeah,
really cool.
Yep.
Yeah. But I said this before that the dialogue that we see in the trailers for Captain Marvel seems forced. It seems like Brie Larson's not really sure how to act like a superhero, and I don't know if it's her or the writing, but there's that one line where Fury is like, these Kree warriors, and she's like, heroes, noble warrior heroes, and it's like, that just sounds forced.
Yeah, I mean, she seems like, and also her character, it could be her character herself too.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the problem too is Marvel has established so good movies that everyone has such a high standard for them.
That's true.
So I feel like, not saying it's going to happen, but eventually they're going to be bound to have to make one bad Marvel movie. I mean, it's so hard to keep a trend up with such good good movies continuously, and Marvel somehow has found that.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's going to have to come a time where it's like Marvel enthusiasts like yourself and Jack and Haley, like, you're going to have to see a movie eventually and not like it. Like, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer about it, but like, I'm just saying that eventually there's going to have to be that kind of,
that's definitely
downfall.
happened already, yeah. There's been some times where I walked out of the theater and I'm like, that was really disappointing. But then I get to think about it more and see it more times. And I'm like, wait, all right. Some aspects were good. I can...
Iron Man 2 and 3?
2. No, I like the third one.
3 wasn't horrible, but 2 was pretty bad with, oh, Lord, what was his name?
Whiplash,
yeah. And they were on the track or something, the road or something, then he cut the car up.
Uh-huh.
It's just like, I was like, come on. This is... I mean... I'm pretty sure even that movie did well too.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. It's not the best one. But...
No, but I'm just saying, like, Captain Marvel has the potential to break that trend.
Yeah.
Well,
Although I think for that scene, it's probably early on in the movie because she's not flying. She knows she has photon blasts somehow, but she's like indestructible, really. And yet she gets thrown off a train and can't pull herself back up.
Yeah, well, I mean, in reality, you can say that about any of the Marvel characters. They're all indestructible, in to a degree. Yeah. I understand that, but like you could be like, oh well, just in Infinity War, a lot of them quote unquote died. But like, I mean, in reality, it's just one of those things where I feel like they're gonna have to make a bad, not purposely make a bad movie, but
no, right. Yeah.
People's standards are gonna be so high for a movie one time, and it's just gonna come crashing and burn. I mean, I guess that's the only way you can produce good movies is to find a way to, if you fail at a movie and then create another movie and succeed with that movie. Mm-hmm. It's all about bouncing back, and I'm sure Marvel. I'm not saying Marvel won't bounce back, but I'm saying it's not easy to keep this streak going of good movies.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I mean, not just Marvel in general, but there's been so many movies that they've made multiple, like, especially, like, even, like, the, not to go off topic here, but, like, the, Fast and the Furious movies.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Transformers.
Well, yeah. But, like, those movies, like, it's just, they're just pure entertainment at this point. Like, you don't go there and analyze the storyline. Like, Marvel movies, you go there and you analyze the storyline. You're like, this, yeah. I think everyone does that to a degree.
Yeah. Because
it's like, the movie has to make sense, but also you have to produce a good movie.
Yeah, and there's so many fan theories, so people are definitely trying to piece together.
Yeah, and I think that's a hard thing, too, especially with the Marvel universe. Like, a universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can do endless amount of movies, but in some sort of way, they have to connect. Mm-hmm. And being able to do that successfully over a long period of time, like I've said, is not easy to do, but Marvel's found it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm excited to see Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I'm still excited for it.
I don't think I'm gonna go opening night. You probably will.
I probably will.
Yeah, but I just, you know, I'll see it eventually. I mean, Once maybe they have it at Agawam Cinemas. They usually do, though.
Yeah.
Because they usually get the Marvel movies and Disney movies.
Yeah, but you saw those, the new movie posters with different characters. It wasn't just Captain Marvel, but it was the Captain Marvel logo and then different characters.
Oh, yeah.
Like headshots.
Yeah.
One of them was the cat.
Yep.
Goose.
Yep. Oh, God. All right. Yeah, let's do, Oh, oops. Sorry.
Oh, what did you want to talk about next?
I was going to talk about the Spider-Man.
Sure, yeah. We got the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
I have a huge beef with this movie already.
Oh, go for it.
I don't like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
I think that's you talk about Brie Larson being the wrong actress for that role for Captain Marvel. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is bad. Like, I mean, everyone...
A bad choice or a bad actor?
Both. I shouldn't say he's a bad actor. I just say he's not my kind of, he's not my favorite actor. I think that there's plenty of other people. I mean, I've never watched read the comic books, so I don't know what Mysterio looks like. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you, if I think of Mysterio, even though I've never actually seen what he looks like in the comic books, I'm definitely not Jake Gyllenhaal. Is not my first round pick.
Right.
I know also a lot of people just don't like Tom Holland in general.
Uh-huh.
People also didn't like Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I saw it and I was like, really? Really? Of everyone in Hollywood to choose to play Mysterio, you pick Jake Gyllenhaal. I hope Jake Gyllenhaal's listening to this.
Definitely. We definitely have that big of an audience. Yeah. He definitely wouldn't have been my first pick either. But no. I think I heard rumors about it months before the trailer, so I got used to the idea. But, right, I still don't see him as the part. Like, just appearance-wise.
He seems awkward.
Yeah.
Like, I feel... when I saw it, too, I was like, oh, it just broke my heart. I was like... Because I really liked Homecoming.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Keaton... That was a good choice.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't go wrong with Michael Keaton in any movie, but like...
And the way they modified the costume to make it modern.
Yeah.
Because Vulture in the comics used to be just like this old guy in a green leotard with wings.
That's funny. That's the actually thing I knew about him.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
No, I mean, like, who you gonna throw up there? Like, Alan Arkin? Like, you're gonna have him? No. Yeah, like I said, Marvel's good at, like, boosting up characters and making them look a certain, like, you know... making him look more modern, even though comic books are pretty modern from when they came out in general. Mm-hmm. But I think, I
actually used to have a huge issue with that though. Like,
you didn't like how they altered it? You didn't like it?
Yeah. Until I realized that this is a separate universe. You can make changes. It's not all going to be the same.
That's the problem too. Is I think Marvel had a decision to make. Is either you follow comic books to not like almost a T, but close to it, and keep the characters the same as they were in the comic books, kind of like an homage to Stan Lee and all that. Mm-hmm. And you know, like my dad and your dad and people who grew up reading those comic books, you either hit that gold mine by itself, or you modernize it like they did, and then you get both. Yeah. Us, like me and you today. And, you know, our parents who read comic books, and you throw them all together, and you get double the audience.
Yeah.
And I think Marvel did a good job about that.
It is a good time to be alive for a comic book fan.
Oh, yeah. I bet you when these comic books came out, and Stan Lee was probably like, these will never catch on, these will never happen.
Right. I think he's even said that. Like, I didn't expect Spider-Man to be this big. I just hoped that people would buy it and I'd keep my job.
I mean, that man was loaded to the day he died.
Yeah.
And I mean, He had a gold mine.
We can't give enough love to Stanley.
No, I know you can't. I know you can't. Did you go to his funeral?
No. I mean, I could have if I really wanted to buy a plane ticket and show up in front of that Chinese theater. But no.
The Avengers actors host the Oscars, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true yet, if it's been confirmed or not, but the Avengers actors are possibly going to host the Oscars. Now, we don't know if that's going to be as themselves or if it's going to be themselves playing the characters or hosting the Oscars. It'll probably be the
actors.
The actors. Yeah. Because you don't want... That'd just be weird for Captain America to be up there and be like, we have...
Well, and also some of them... I bet you every aspect of their costume is not actual. Some of it's definitely probably CGI too, so it would be kind of hard to like... Because I heard the Tom Holland one, 95% of the time was CGI.
I think so.
So you're going to have him, in a green suit just standing up there and be like, guys, just imagine me in my Spider costume. Because in reality, that Spider-Man costume, I think in Infinity War, it was metal. Right? The one that Tony Stark gave him. Remember when he was attached to the ship?
Yeah.
And,
that has to be CGI.
Well, even the Black Panther one, I think is CGI too, because it was tight to their body, and I was I couldn't imagine running in that suit.
Yeah. It's vibranium though. It's high tech.
Yeah, because vibranium exists in real life, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. What would be cool is if they actually went for the characters. You could make it a publicity event for Endgame, and then they'd be attacking villains in the audience. It'd be cool, but you'd probably need stunt doubles.
Yeah, and then you would have to have certain actors participate in it, so you're not just grabbing a random actor and chucking them around.
Yeah. I'm not going to watch the Oscars anyway, so it really doesn't matter to me.
Not even if they host it?
No.
Why?
I have no interest in that.
They're hosting it. At least show some sort of just show your fans how much you care.
I can find the highlights on YouTube.
Joe.
If we can go back to the Spider-Man trailer for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember seeing all those the people that Mysterio was attacking?
Mm.
Yeah, they're called elementals apparently. So one thing that people are theorizing is that Mysterio is like a special effects pretty much. So one thing that people are theorizing is that Mysterio is setting up all of these elementals. They're just special effects, so he can go in and save the day and become his own hero. Sort of like who's that guy from Incredibles? Syndrome. What Syndrome did? He set up the robot so he could go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But I think that's too obvious. I feel like all those scenes might, if that's true, I feel like all those scenes might be towards the beginning of the movie, so that Spider-Man can find out and out Mysterio right away as the villain.
Yeah.
And then they can go from there.
Yeah.
Because Marvel, I think, knows that people are going to catch on. They know how many fan theories are out there, so I think they can purposely throw us off like that.
You never know, though.
You never know. Yeah, could be right. What else do you want to talk about? Do you want to go to Spider-Verse?
I have not seen Spider-Verse.
That's okay. So, Into the Spider-Verse already has a sequel in the works. It has an all-female movie in the works. And they're talking about TV spin-offs.
Yeah.
Which might explore the side characters.
Yeah.
Which would be cool. I think the TV shows could have their own animation style. You can get to know different characters.
Well, it's funny because my dad, one of his favorite characters was Spider-Man. And I remember he used to read the comics all the time, and then he stopped, and it was actually, I don't know how long ago he stopped asking, but I asked him why he didn't. He said it just got too confusing, because he said the Spider-Verse kind of just got thrown all together, and there was 20 million different kinds of Spider-Man.
When did he stop reading?
I don't remember.
Recently, or 20 years ago?
Oh, it was definitely recently. It was definitely within the past 10 years, I would imagine.
Okay, yeah.
But I haven't asked him, but he just said that, because he goes to the comic book place down on Route 5 over here, and he used to get them all the time, and then he just stopped getting them and asked him what happened. First of all, he said they got expensive. Comic books are expensive now. They're $3 or $4.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And it's all advertisements, too.
Yeah.
The page.
And so he said that it just got too confusing. There's just too many. There was Gwen Stacy was a Spider-Man, and then there was a Spider Tree, and there was not really. I don't think that's one of them, but I was I remember he said there was a dark Spider-Man and a light Spider-Man, and he just said there was just too many different versions of him just to keep track.
Yeah.
Said he got lost.
I do remember when the Spider-Verse event was taking place, and I never followed Spider-Man comics. I know the basic story of Peter Parker, but even I remember hearing about all these events, and I'm I'm never going to catch up.
Yeah.
I don't know who all these characters are or where they're coming from.
Yeah, my dad just gave up.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I mean, it's a lot. Sometimes even just the Marvel movies themselves, sometimes get lost of who the character is and what's going on, and yeah.
Jack said that about X-Men comics though, and the only reason I can keep up with X-Men is because I've been reading it my whole life, so I know what's happening. But X-Men too, that's hard to keep up with.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I've seen the original movies, so it's kind of more played out. And I know that. I mean, I've seen the original movies. How many times have we made Spider-Man in our lifetime already? In the past, less than 20 years, it's been remade 3 different times. Mm-hmm. I guess you wouldn't say it's remade, but they rebooted it.
It's rebooted.
But it was, it's just gets confusing. And I understand, like, it, you know, you kind of have to, like, go on and just do your own thing after a while, but it's like, come on. The X-Men movies, I mean, I've never read the comic books, you read the comic books, but, like, the movie, I enjoyed the movies. The original movies? Not these remakes.
Yes. The first three were good.
Yes. Well, was Last Stand?
Yeah. Okay.
Was
you
all
can
right.
take or leave that one.
Yeah.
But it's still part of the trilogy, and it's before the whole superhero hype really began, so it's like, I can give that one a pass.
Well, they killed Cyclops, and that just was not okay with me.
Yeah.
I think even the director of that movie came out and said that was a mistake.
Probably.
Because, I mean, within, like, the first 20 minutes, he was already dead.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And it's supposed to be based off of the, the Phoenix story, and it didn't follow that at all. So,
no, and I thought that last movie relied too much on it, and I thought that kind of just took away. I think it really should have just been more of a Phoenix movie, because that's pretty much all focused on her. And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot these other X-Men. I forgot Cyclops was. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, there's Professor X.
By killing Cyclops, because Jean Grey and Cyclops are an item, it kind of took away from the movie. Like, he should have been there at the end, too.
I thought he should have been the one to kill her.
Right.
Instead of Logan. I mean, I understand Logan likes her, and I think it would have just been a better send-off if, like, Cyclops killed her, and then she killed him, kind of like a good, like, send-off. I just thought that last movie was just, like, they were like, all right, we got to make an X-Men movie. We do not care how bad this script is. The storyline doesn't make any sense. We'll kill a bunch of people off, and then we'll just act like nothing happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. On the other hand, the... what's it called? The Dark Phoenix movie that's coming out. That looks like it's taking it too far. Like, they are actually going into space. They're going to bring in Skrulls and I think more alien races.
I liked the first. I think, was it the first one? When they tied it into the Cuban Missile Crisis. Was that the first one?
First Class, I think?
Yeah. I think, yeah. I thought that was funny. Like, I think it's that's the only thing I liked about that series is how they tied it into, like, actual events.
Yeah.
To kind of give it more of, like a human feel to it. Mm-hmm. I thought that was funny. I was like, okay, the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's just, it's funny. Cool. I like the little things that Marvel does with certain things. Yeah. I think that wasn't Marvel, though. That was Sony, right? That made Fox. The original movies? Oh, Fox made the original movies. I just think it's funny when you can, like, you're that creative and you're just like, you know what? Let's turn this into the Cuban Missile Crisis. Just make it something completely, like, not even remotely close to what happened. You'd be like, but this is a good theory to have, though.
Right.
And then the other one, when they had to curve the bullet about John F. Kennedy, I like that. I said he was a mutant.
Yeah. Or even with Captain Marvel, it's a period piece in the 90s, so we get Blockbuster.
Yeah, and I think that's how you get fans to stay around.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of like, oh, this is so cool, you bring it back. That's why I feel like when, you see movies that do, like, movies that they produce today that are, like, in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s, and I think that's cool because you get those older generation who can't really relate to movies today because it's harder for them because it's more of a modern...
Right.
Not knocking the older generation, but I'm just saying, like, how some of those are, like, they're not tech savvy, and it's kind of like, you throw those like, even I enjoy those gangster movies, like, the old-fashioned movies, like, Marvel does a good job of incorporating that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yep. To go along with the X-Men, I'm going to throw in Rob Liefeld is introducing Major X, which is a new character coming out soon, in the comics, not the movies. But this character, I think the idea has been around since the 90s. And this character is from the Existence, which is kind of dumb, but...
Is it a female?
I'm for it. We don't know. It hasn't been revealed. But I remember at the end of the X-Men vs. Inhumans event, Emma Frost went insane and developed a new costume, which looks almost exactly like Major X's costume. So I almost wonder if it's going to be Emma Frost. Because they did bring Cyclops back for this event.
Weren't they lovers?
Yeah.
Cyclops and
Emma Frost.
It was before or after Jean?
After Jean.
This is when Jean's already the Phoenix? Or was Jean dead by then?
Jean
probably dies every year.
Well, so I think she had died at one point, then came back, and then Cyclops cheated on Jean with Emma Frost. Then Jean died again, and Cyclops just stuck with her. With Emma.
He's a jerk, huh? I can understand why they probably killed him off in the beginning. They were like, no one cares about this character except me. But
Actually,
That's funny.
a few years ago, Cyclops in the comics was completely insane and had this mutant revolution. That's when I actually got attached to Cyclops, because I was like, wow, this character's actually interesting for once. Except now he came back, because this newest event that's happening, all the X-Men have pretty much been killed off, but Cyclops came back somehow. Not really caught up yet, but then Cyclops had revealed, like, nope, I was wrong.
Well,
Shouldn't have done that.
They brought him back in the new series.
Yeah, the X-Men movies.
But he wasn't as good. He wasn't as, for lack of a better word, douchey as.
You're not attached to the new characters.
No, you're not. And at least in the original series, I guess at a distance you are.
Yeah.
Because you can tell that he cares, even though he like threatens Logan. He's like one of the lines he was like, "Stay away from my girl" or something like that. And
in the originals.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. I feel like the original series, the characters were more relatable, even though they did not explain their backstories as much, except Logan's.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know like what happened to Storm, how Storm found her powers.
That's true.
Besides pathetic Rogue that no one cares about, which is. You don't agree with me, but everyone else does. Even the producers of the last movies cut her scenes out.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like...
No, they definitely did not do her justice in the movies.
No.
As a character, I still like Rogue.
Well, they made her very bland.
Uh-huh.
And you only introduced to her even in the original series, you were introduced to her when
she's a teenager.
And she's making out with the guy, and
Yeah.
she sucks the life, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that, and then you're kind of like... Okay.
Yeah.
You're kind of like,
then she runs away.
Yeah, and then you're like...
That's how it starts with her.
Like, in reality, that's a sucky power to have.
Yeah.
Like, you not be able to have any human contact besides, like, wearing gloves or something like that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And then I think in the third movie, they theorized that she got the shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, was that confirmed? They kind of, like, hinted at it, 'cause remember she showed up there?
And then went back to Iceman and...
Yeah, and then she, like, touched him or something like that, and then there was nothing, and I was like, really?
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic that they put out in that movie.
Yeah.
What else? Punisher Season 2 was released. I have not watched it.
I haven't even watched the first season.
Me neither. I mean, it's on my list of things to watch, but it's not really my thing.
I heard some people don't like it. Because I heard some people say it's a little too over the top with the violence. Okay. Or the character himself is a little too violent.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I think, what's his name? John Bentham? Bernthal? Yeah. I only know him because he's from The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Which is basically the same character.
Just a little bit more violent,
Just a little more violent, yeah.
Yeah. They canceled Punisher, right?
I don't think they've canceled it yet.
But they probably will.
They probably will.
Because Disney's launching their own streaming service.
Yep. Disney Plus. Which I don't know, it's probably going to be kid-friendly.
That stinks, though, too, because it's like, there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of Disney stuff on Netflix. Or there was, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or they're slowly taking it off.
They are slowly taking it off.
I mean, I can understand why Disney's doing it for more money. Like,
right.
But you easily could just keep it on Netflix and then charge Netflix 20 times more just to keep it on there.
Right, yeah.
It's like they did that with Friends. They were threatening to take Friends off, and then they were like, "Oh, here's $20 million."
Yeah, I definitely understand why Disney's making Disney Plus, but I don't want to subscribe to it.
Yeah, and that's. I think
it's just Disney things. Like, I only watch Disney things for Marvel.
I think that's gonna bite them in the butt.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna lose a lot of money on that, only because it's mainly for kids.
Right.
And you're already paying like $16 or $17 or how much you are for Netflix in general. No family's going to pay another $20.
I know.
For Disney.
Although they've said it's not going to be that much. Like, I think they said it's going to be cheaper than...
Yeah, but that's what Netflix said too. Netflix goes up every year.
Yeah.
And they're going to realize that they're not going to be able to compete. It's just, I don't know, it's a mess.
Hopefully they have that 30-day trial where you can just sign up with an email address, get their...
Some of them aren't even that anymore. Some of them are like a week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What else do we have? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. released a new trailer for Season 6. Oh, that was exciting.
Isn't it the final season?
No, they have a Season 7.
That's the final season, right?
Maybe.
I thought they announced that there was one of the last seasons coming. I could be wrong.
We all thought that Season 5 was going to be the last season. And then Season 6 got renewed for a summer series.
Oh yeah, and then they thought it got.
But literally like 2 days later, they announced season 7 was renewed too. So it was so exciting that I have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for at least another 2 years. So I have 2 years now to prepare again for like, okay, this might be the end, but we have 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
I think the writers have been amazing. The stories have almost been flawless, in my opinion. So I have faith that they can do amazing things with season 6 and 7. But the trailer was really good. Go watch it if you haven't already. We get a surprise character. I can say it, right? Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so the whole thing is surprising to me. So.
Do you want me to spoil it?
Yeah,
Coulson comes back.
Coulson. I mean, I could have told you that.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't really a surprise, but yeah, the trailer ends with Coulson.
Oh wait, was he killed off?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the trailer ends with Coulson. His back is to the camera, but he turns around so you can see his face, and you hear Fitz saying, "No, you're from S.H.I.E.L.D." And Coulson goes, "S.H.I.E.L.D.? Never heard of it."
No.
So that's interesting. But it looks like they go to space. Like there's a lot more space scenes. There's new characters they fight with.
Chloe Bennett.
Chloe Bennett is in it. Yep. Chloe Bennett has a new haircut, new costume.
Life's good, huh?
Life's good. She looks like she gets a lot more screen time because she's in the trailer a lot. Cool power set. It'll be cool. I'm excited.
For the show or just to see Chloe Bennett in a new attire and new hairstyle?
It's a toss-up. Evenly mixed.
That's funny.
I think one last fun fact from January is that Jar Jar Binks picked up a lightsaber. He went to go save someone, picked up a lightsaber, and fended off some things. Honestly, I don't remember. He just ran out to rescue someone, but ended up with
I don't want to be... I'd rather die than be rescued by Jar Jar Binks. Me said Jar Jar Binks!
But that was funny. That's all I have for January. Any last thoughts?
I think we covered it. I mean, we'll see the we'll see how Captain Marvel is.
Yeah,
that's what I'm anticipating. I honestly probably should just watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents, sorry, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Only because it's Chloe Bennett and she's attractive. Yeah.
Hey, Elizabeth Henstridge, who plays Gemma Simmons, endorsed our podcast.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Oh. Was she from where? On Instagram?
On Instagram, yeah.
Really? I should look at that.
Yeah. It's like 10 seconds, I think, but it's the best 10 seconds
Recently?
of my life. Last November.
Is it still on?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
She put it on her story, but I saved it as a favorite on my page, on the Marvel Therapy Group page.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Did she watch it?
I don't know. I should send this to her and be like, hey, we talked about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. here. See if we get another response. We should get her on the show.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. She seems sweet enough and down to earth that she might. But even that's a stretch.
She said she'd be for it. She asked what my Instagram was so she could tag me. And I said, oh, I only have my podcasts. And she's like, oh, what is that? I told her it was our Marvel podcast. And I said, if you ever want to be on it. And she's like, I would too. So, she does want to be on it.
I don't know how you do that, but you'd have to...
Well, Elizabeth Henstridge, if you ever want to be a guest star, we're waiting.
You can DM Joe at
through Marvel Therapy Group.
Marvel Therapy Group?
Yeah.
I would say you could DM me, but you can. I'm at Padre Mazer. I'm not an actual Padre. It's just how it goes. All right.
Well, if you're a fan of Marvel Therapy Group, send it to Elizabeth Henstridge, but also tag us in another post. We'll repost it. And if you feel so inclined, you can find us on Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, and Spotify. Yeah.
All right.
And this has been our January Roundup.
Yay.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's Marvel Therapy Group, where together we can work through our comic thoughts and learn to live beside them. Views expressed are of the host only and do not reflect Marvel Studios or comics in any way. Hosts are in no way qualified to provide therapy. This is simply the name of the podcast. This has been another Marvel Therapy Group session.